We're talking about two words. Two impactful, important words that would improve, that would adjust, and that would make the WWE watchable. That would definitely take the integrity and make it compelling. There are two words that come to my mind that the WWE needs to do right now, hands down, because we have not seen ratings since before or after this person was in charge. Ladies and gentlemen, two impactful words that come to my mind. You can talk about the strategy, you can talk about the commitment, you can talk about his mind, you can talk about his ideas, you can talk about his morals, you can talk about the backlash, you can talk about the heat. But at the end of the day, when it comes to putting pen to paper and thinking and strategizing, when it comes to enhancing the performance, when it comes to putting all ideas together and forming something a hell of a lot better and bigger and more intriguing and more significant than we are getting right now. I have come on here time in and time out, day in and day out, and given my theories and what I would do and how I would change things and how I would mix it up. I've done that. I've come up with all these different, scenarios. But obviously, they're not going to listen to me. They're not going to listen to you. They may read it. They may take it in, but they're actually not going to utilize it. It's all about utilization. It's all about utilizing. It's all about a formula. And there was a formula that a certain man with a certain set of aspects and points, a man that made you compelled, a man that made you feel what was happening, a man that gave you a reason to why you should tune in the next week and why you would miss something and why you would be mad and agitated, why you would be annoyed if you missed Monday Night Raw. Two impactful words that would improve the WWE, not short term, but I'm talking long term here. Vince Russo. Yes, you heard me right. I just said those two words, and I'm not talking about two words as in DX, suck it. No. Because right now, the WWE is sucking the life right out of the WWE fans each and every week. If they could not get a rating that was significant or that was almost as high as the Attitude Era or somewhat reflected what the Attitude Era was all about on a Monday Night Raw that just went by, that had the likes of Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold, Brock Lesnar, The Undertaker, Ric Flair, not to mention you got the John Cena's, the Roman Reigns, the Dean Ambroses, the Wyatt family, and they still cannot get a rating 3 or above. And I'm giving them credit because I think the rating came in at, 2.2? Vince Russo, no matter what you want to say about him, no matter what you think about him, Vince Russo, at this time, how much worse, how much more harm could he do to the product? There is no way that anybody, I think a toddler, I think a kid, a child, could do better than what we are seeing, right? I think anybody could, but when it comes to being that guy, and when it comes to wanting to see the company be where it once was, to see where it was and to see where it's at right now, this man, Vince Russo, and I think he pretty much went on record as saying, he's not in it for the money. He's not in it for the paycheck. He just wants to help. He wants to see the WWE be what he remembers it. He doesn't want to see a product that he loved since he was, 11, 12 years old go down the drain. This is perhaps some of the worst times, and we can talk about, all the aspects and all the excuses upon excuses. Well, there's Monday Night Football on, there's baseball on, there's this game, there's that game, the NFL, the NHL, whatever's on their competition. The WWE is, right in tune with those numbers because each year they draw this. Once again, as Vince Russo said, and as he was once told, if the show is good, the people will watch it no matter what. And ladies and gentlemen, once again, when Vince Russo was on the creative team and when he put, pen to paper and mind to what is going to happen, what is going to transpire, I think if Vince Russo was on WWE creative team and, had some kind of input or some kind of aspect or had something to do with the product, was entangled in the product in some way, shape, or form, it could reinvigorate, it could reconfigure the WWE. We could see the WWE once again. And when I'm not asking for blood, I'm not asking for chair shots to the head, I'm not asking for TV 14, because I'm sure Vince Russo can make TV PG work pretty damn good. Because if you remember, in the Attitude Era, the whole time. Many people are under the assumption that it was always TV 14, but no, there was that period of time in the Attitude Era that saw its highest ratings to date, that it was PG, and that was when there was ECW. That was when there was WCW. But for Vince McMahon, it probably does come down to pride. It comes down to ego. It comes down to, well, I know what I got to do. I got who I got in place, and we're just going to work like this. No, the fans have a different point. But once again, we as fans, we're not in the product. Vince Russo says this over and over again, that, as long as you're not in the product and you haven't worked within the business, and as long as you don't know really what's going on, you really don't have your finger on that pulse. And you really have to appreciate Vince Russo here, because here's the guy that's worked in the business. He knows the business. He knows the ins and outs. He knows the guys. He knows the girls. He knows what it takes to operate. He knows what it takes to influence. We can come on here as fans and talk all day long about the changes and the advancements and the improvements that we would make. But once again, we are not in the company because we don't have it from that point of view. So I see where Vince Russo is coming from. I definitely do. But at the end of the day, the two words that would change the WWE forever and long term and be to where we need it to be, where it has to be, and where we are all crying and we are all desperate. We are being desperate. Our backs up are against the corner. Vince Russo, and dare I say, Vince freaking Russo will change your mind as well as change the damn ratings. Subscribe.